What's happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today, you guessed it, more Michigan craft beer coming from Pigeon Brewing Company. Actually, one of the most requested breweries to actually review more of their stuff. On my channel, at least, I'm getting a lot of comments that say, hey, check out Pigeon Hill. I've had a lot of Pigeon Hill over the years. It's just far and few in between, really. It's not like it's consistently on the channel. So, guys, here we are. Nothing fancy today. It's just their amber ale. I have not seen this till recently. And then I was kind of a little bit disappointed when I looked on the bottom, saw 10/22/24. Well, today's almost the 22nd of January. Not quite, right? It's the 18th, but November, December, January, almost 3 months old. No big deal. I suppose it's an amber, but it's weird that I just saw this recently and it's still not the freshest, but that's okay. Amber ale, we'll live with it. Pigeon Hill Brewing Company in Muskegon, Michigan, guys. Have never been there, but again, I've had quite a few offerings from them. And we have a 5.75% amber ale. So let's crack into it, see what it's about. Again, nothing really fancy today, but this was requested that I check out more Pigeon Hill beer. So for you guys, I'm doing it, okay? At least the couple of you. There's only really one or two of you. But I've noticed it consistently, so let's go for it. I love a good amber ale. Nothing too fancy about it, like I've always said, and like I've been saying today. But in my opinion, one of the better beers you could drink in the winter or fall time, springtime, whatever you want to say. So it looks the part, guys. It's that ruby amber color. It's super dark. Dark caramely, almost red mahogany thing going on there. Looks good, actually. A pretty steady carbonation going to the top. A little bit of off-white fluffy heads sitting on top of this mahogany, darkness, red, whatever. You guys can see it. I hate giving descriptions. You can see it with your own eyes. It's fine. You can see the ring light. You see the beer. There you go. You see what we're working with. Let's get a nose. It smells like a really smooth amber. Caramel maltiness is definitely abundant. It's on the sweeter end of the spectrum, but not too sweet. Those caramel sweetness notes, definitely abundant here. Slight bit of hoppiness, a little bit of grains, a little bit of grassy graininess, but really that sweetness really sticking out. The caramel maltiness is the most predominant thing, is what I like to see. I mean, the most bold amber ale that always comes to mind is like the Bell's amber ale. That one's super bold. This one comes across a little bit softer, a little bit sweeter. It's just a little softer to the nose. So let's get into this. Hey, Pigeon Hill, Muskegon in the house. Let's check it out. Cheers. See, and it comes across a lot lighter than a Bell's amber ale. But I don't think Bell's, I don't know what that ABV is on the Bell's amber. But this one does have a little bit of boldness to it. It comes off really light through the front and middle. So yes, it's malty. Comes off, finishes dry on the back end. A little bit of hop bitterness, kind of adding to the sweetness, kind of like balancing it out a bit. It does come across like a lighter beer though, and I do like it. But again, the maltiness does weigh on your palate a little bit. It comes in and finishes strong on the back end. Smooth as butter. A little bit of like caramel nuttiness in there, just a small little bit of nuttiness. Again, the caramel sweetness, the most predominant thing. It's nice, it's full, it finishes all the way through from start to finish. And then the sweetness isn't too overpowering. It does let off the gas a little bit. And again, you're left with a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of hop kiss, and again, a little bit of grains, a little bit of softness to just even this thing out. It's a good beer. It's not meant to be fancy. Amber ale shouldn't be this fancy, and it's not that fancy, but at the end of the day, really good sipper at 5.75. I would drink many of these and not be upset. And I do think there's quality in here. It feels fresh, even though it's 3 months old. It feels like there's a good water quality here. That's Michigan for you, right? So that's why we like Michigan beer. We get that clean water. Water is everything. And this is no different today, guys. Really good amber ale with a little bit of softness and a little bit more smoothness than some of maybe your other amber ales on the market. Maybe a skosh lighter as well. But it is nice. Like sometimes those are very, very heavy, and they can be very malty. And this one just comes off a notch lighter on the malty end of the spectrum. A sipper that can turn into a chugger, no problem at all. So guys, I like this quality. It's an amber ale. Let's not get that crazy, but it's a really good amber ale. Some would say I want it bolder. Well, you're looking for maybe the Bell's then. But this one's good for me today, and I like it. So 8.8, 3.88 out of 5. It's an amber ale, but for the amber ale style, this is really, really good, guys. So I think you can get this for $11.99 for a 6-pack. So that's what it is. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you're going to pour a beer, pour Michigan beer. Hell yeah.